move on to determining your disposable income. Now, disposable income is defined as what you have left over after you deduct all of your expenses. It just means what you have left over that someone doesn't already have claim to. So Mr. Bill doesn't have claim to it. It is considered disposable income, or what you have left over. It's a real simple formula. Dale has it up right there. You take your total net income. I wish we could play with the gross, but we can't. Uncle Sam gets his fingers in it before we get it. Okay? So we have to play with the net. That's what we are actually able to touch. So we write down all of our regular income sources that we have, our job, if we have child support sources, if we have just regular outside income, that's a regular steady income that we receive, we can write that down and include that. And then we're going to subtract all of our total monthly expenses. So that's why that tracking is so important, so that you know, okay, this is priority, what I need, what has to happen. You know, those needs: food, clothing, shelter, transportation. Everything else is adjustable. Okay. So this worksheet talks about comparing your income with your expenses and determining if you're living within your means. So you have a space on this information. Write down what your total net income is. Write down your monthly expenses and then subtract. So once you do that calculation, if your income is more than your expenses, you have disposable income. Now, how are you going to use it? Are you going to put that towards more debt? Are you going to save it? Are you going to put it away for retirement? What is then your strategy? Because now you have money that you can tell it where to go. Nobody has claim to it. But now you are in control of that. Okay, but if your expenses are more than your income, think about ways, when we looked at all those categories we were spending money in, think about how you can reduce some of those expenses. So a couple of tips. One, if you have insurance through anybody, put your insurance agent to work and have them to do a review for you and see if they can lower your insurance premium. See if there's anything out there that can lower your insurance premium. If you're one who is still paying for cable, make sure you check. One thing about cable, it'll tick up every few months or so. You'll see a new charge. You started paying $50. Now it's $55. Then it's $60. Next thing you know, it's $125. And you're wondering, how did I get from $50 to $125? But it was small little increments over time. Your promotion ran out or whatever. Just stay on track. Stay up with all those things. Buying in bulk is a way. If you have a family that you're feeding, buying in bulk is a way that you can cut some of those expenses. Just reducing some of the things. Think about how much time you really get to watch TV and how much of that is really relevant. And can you, even if it's temporarily, can you do without it for a moment until that financial hole is plugged in your boat? So that is the determining your disposable income and what that conversation looks like.
Determining your disposable income. So the first step was tracking your expenses, understanding what your expenses are. Your income, most of the time, you're not going to have 30 streams of income. So you're going to have one or two, maybe 3 or 4 at the most. So you know what those are. So we're saying total net income, not what you gross in your paycheck. You see that bigger number. It's the net number, what you actually can go to the bank in cash. It's a smaller number. That's what we're working with. So we're looking at what your total net income is, minus your expenses. So if you've got $1,000 in income and $700 in expenses, you have disposable income of $300. But that's why it's really important to be honest about your expenses, because you might not, if you're not being totally honest, you think you have $300 of disposable income, but you're really negative. And it proves out month after month when you're robbing Peter to pay Paul to figure